Welcome in. I just feel like I was sent off into the log flume by Joey Christopoulos. Thank you, Joey. When will my picture be taken? At the most scariest part when I'm going down with my hands up? Ooh, it's the CHGO White Sox podcast. Welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast, coming to you live from Studio West in our West Loop office here in downtown Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson, being produced today by Joey Christopoulos.
Good to see you, Sean.
Great to be seen, Joey. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel, which is now at 103 subscribers.
Climbing.
103 maniacs. What is it? No, 103,000 maniacs. What? 10,000 maniacs.
It was 10,000 maniacs.
So 103,000 maniacs.
10,000 maniacs times
Shout out
5?
Natalie
10?
Merchant. I don't know. I would probably be like 5.5 if we got 3 in there. So it'd probably be like 5 times 3. Anyways, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. If you have any thoughts, let us know in the chat. Daniel Bering saying is happy Thursday. Hey, everyone. Hey, Daniel. What's up? On today's show, we'll be talking about Grant Taylor. We'll be talking about Bradley Blalock. We'll be talking about Jared Kellenic. We'll be talking about Alexander Alberto. We'll be talking about Sox international signings and more. Probably not. What if they did something? You know, we had that whole Omai little flutter there. That was fun. And they signed Murakami. That was fun. That was about a month and a half ago at this point, Joey. Are we still riding on Murakami fumes? Or can we maybe like sign a greasy second baseman? Where's my Ramon Urias signing?
Oh.
Where's my Ramon Urias signing?
Fancy.
Come on.
Well, there's a couple of big names still left on the board, right? But after that,
Ramon Urias.
yeah, after that, you would like to think the White Sox are going to wait this out and have these markets shrink a little bit and find some people that maybe are less interested in the finances on a one-year deal, but more interested in the structure and the organization that they can come in and rebuild some sort of value. So it might be a couple more weeks. Do you think we get something before Sox Fest? 2 weeks away?
I mean, would they have Murakami? I mean, that would sell. That sells me at Sox Fest. They have Colson Montgomery. You know, they have Grant Taylor, who's our headliner. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want. I think I just want the damn season to start.
God, please,
we are
yes.
a month away from pitchers. Pitchers and catchers is about 25 days away. But we are a month away from full squad returning. So, you know, I gotta put this energy somewhere. Let's sign. Like, what's Kyle Crick doing? Can we not bring back Kyle Crick? I miss Kyle Crick. Yeah, I'll go out and say it. I'm feeling bold. CHGO Troll in the chat. I feel like I'm walking into something here just by the name alone. I'm felling like 80-ish wins this year. And our guy Trey saying, I wish I felt that way. I don't see how they win 70 with that rotation. Well, they're going to win 70 because Sean Burke is going to win Cy Young. Remember that one year Felix Hernandez had a losing record and won Cy Young? Oh, yeah. Sean Burke, you know? Like Sean Burke, I don't think we're really talking about the potential that he does have. Because right now, before spring training, before anything starts, I can really just get drunk and delusional off potential. And that's really the Grant Taylor thing as well. Should Grant Taylor be trusted to be our closer? Well, I think that he could also be the starting pitcher. You know, I still think that he could be the ace of a staff. We're going to talk about some numbers. I mean, he could be our Jacob deGrom if everything goes well enough. It seems like his mechanics maybe don't lend to that, don't lend to health for our guy Grant Taylor, but, you know, I trust him to put on a new roof on my house. Joey, you know, I mean, do you think 8664 Four Seasons would hire him to put in a hot water tank heater in their house? I would.
I mean, Grant Taylor is amazing at heating. He's amazing at plumbing. He's amazing at electric.
And he's amazing at cooling off those bats.
Yeah. He's a furnace AC combo, baby.
When
You're going to want him all summer long and into the winter.
when do we have the crowd throw tomatoes at me?
What's that?
When do we have the crowd throw tomatoes at me?
No, this is a non-vegetable.
I feel
podcast.
like that's something that in modern day has not been used advantage of. You know, you used to see that in Hey Arnold a bunch. Maybe that's a New York City thing, you know, rotten tomatoes. But I feel like we should bring back the bit of throwing rotten tomatoes at people.
Hey, Sean, I can't help but notice. What are you doing with all those tomatoes in your pocket? Well, if things go sideways, I'm going to be chucking them at somebody.
How could you tell? Do I have a tomato sauce dripping down my leg?
Is that a cabbage of lettuce, or are you just happy to see me? What's going on over there?
Yes. Anyways, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. All right, let's talk about Grant Taylor's FIP. So we're obviously not playing by house rules here. We have to fudge the numbers to make sure that Grant Taylor pops up. But when you go by split seasons, 2021 to 2025, so a single season from 2021 to 2025 post-COVID, and you set the minimum playing time to 30 innings pitched, Grant Taylor has the, Joey, drum roll, please. We could just smack the table. I think that's what it said yesterday. Oh, you got one. Fourth. Grant Taylor had the fourth lowest FIP in Major League Baseball in the past 4 seasons. Edwin Diaz's 2022, a .9 FIP. Jacob deGrom, 2021, 1.24 FIP. Cade Smith in 2024, 1.4 FIP. And then Grant Taylor, 1.42 FIP. Jacob deGrom, again, pretty good, 2023, 30.1 innings pitched, less than Grant Taylor, 1.63. So he has a top 5 FIP. That's fielding independent pitching. Pretty much what's in the hands of Grant Taylor, striking out people, walking people, not giving up home runs, right? And he doesn't give up home runs. He doesn't really walk people, and he strikes out a ton of people. Didn't give up a homer also. The only other player on this list that didn't give up a homer was Giovanni Moran, who I don't know who that is. No, I don't know. Who is Giovanni Moran? Okay, well, maybe he's Giovanni Moran. Giovanni Moran in 40 2/3 innings also had a pretty low FIP and did not give up a home run. I'm glad I went down the Giovanni Moran train, and now I can't find the leaderboard I was on. Awesome. That's super cool. Giovanni Moran is breaking my brain. But yeah, 2021 for the Minnesota Twins. Really glad we found that out.
Never lost.
See, this is
Never
the fun
lost.
part about
Never gave a hell for a
relievers.
home
You
run.
know, you never know if you're going to get the next Edwin Diaz. You never know if you're going to get the next Giovanni Moran. He's 6'2", and I don't think he gets 7 feet of extension. And that's the main thing about Grant Taylor. Tommy Nance in 2025. Not a lot of people are talking about Tommy Nance.
No.
Do you know about Tommy Nance?
No, I think more Larry Nance on the Cavs.
I
in
guess
the
I would-
90s, playing basketball.
And I think about his father, you know, because the whole bit about Larry Nance getting drafted was that, his father played. Jesse Chavez in 2021, he's old.
Oh,
as
we know
dirt.
him.
All right, so, those are the 4 names that since 2021 haven't given up a homer. I do think it's likely, Joey, that Grant Taylor gives up a homer in 2026. But the reason we're talking about him, friend of the show that we've had on already, Thomas Nestico, TJ Stats at TJ Stats, has ranked Grant Taylor as the 11th reliever out of 40 for the upcoming season in 2026, just outside of the top 10. And your names will drop at the names above him. 10, Devin Williams, pretty good. 9, Griffin Jacks, pretty good. 8, Josh Hader, pretty good. 7, Adrian Morejon. That one's a little more niche. Maybe people don't know about Adrian Morejon, but if you have an MLB The Show franchise, you know about Adrian Morejon because he's easily the best left-handed free agent reliever on the market.
Still.
Seemingly every single copy of MLB The Show.
Swiss Army knife for the San Diego Padres bullpen.
Absolutely. 6, Andres Munoz, one of the nastiest sweepers in the game. And his sinker is like 102. It's completely disgusting. 5, Aroldis Chapman. He's 38 and somehow getting better. 4, Johan Duran. 3, Edwin Diaz, who we already talked about. 2, Cade Smith, who we've already talked about. And then number 1, Manson Miller. Mason
Miller.
Oh, I said Manson Miller.
Manson Miller? Oh, no, that's the murderer.
That's the
Mason
murderer.
Miller
That's
murders
the murderer.
people with 105 mile-an-hour fastballs. You know what I take out of all that list, too, as
Cool.
well? It just, shows the potential value of Grant Taylor on your baseball team and perhaps across the entire market of baseball.
Yeah. But again, it's the ability to strike out and the ability not to walk people. The issue that Grant did have was a reliance on his four seam and cutter. I'd like to see more slider. I'd like to see more curveball. But again, like, not only do I believe Grant Taylor could be the closer for the 2026 White Sox, not really upset they didn't sign a Pete Fairbanks. Not really upset there hasn't been an addition to the bullpen outside of Jedrickson Paez and Alexander Alberto, who we'll talk about later in the show.
Sean Newcomb, maybe Splitsky, or is he going to be a starter?
I think we have him right now in the starting rotation. Again, just to update, maybe people don't listen to the show every single day. Why would they? Maybe you haven't heard our Sox Machine updated off-season plan that we have going on. Shane Smith currently the ace. Davis Martin, your starting pitcher 2. Starting pitcher 3, Sean Burke, who will be the ace in just a few months. Starting pitcher 4, Anthony Kay. And then starting pitcher 5, Sean Newcomb. I think they do have one more spot open in the bullpen. Maybe that's a Bradley Blalock. Maybe that's a Sean Newcomb after they sign a Bradley Blalock. We'll talk about Blalock in a second. But I have Tyler Gilbert making the staff a lefty. Chris Murphy making the staff a lefty. Alexander Alberto, a righty, making the staff. Jedrickson Paez making the staff the righty. Those two are Rule 5 picks. Mike Vassell, a righty, making the staff. Leisure, Grant Taylor making the staff. And I do think Leisure or Taylor will be the closer. I could see these guys both getting like 10 saves this year, at least, because I do think that you could see Grant Taylor in the 7th or 8th. Let's say, Vlad Guerrero, I guess Anthony Santander is a Toronto Blue Jay, and Kyle Tucker are coming up in the 7th inning. And there you go. You have Grant Taylor come out and he faces them in the 7th inning, and then Jordan Leisure ends up getting the save, although Grant Taylor was used in the highest point of leverage. I do think that there's no real need to go out and sign a person of true high leverage. I think what they need and are looking for is length, as our pal Trey brought up earlier. He's worried about the rotation. I think that they are trying their best to figure out who can give them length, whether it's Jedrickson Paez is like 19 years old, whether it's Paez, who has not pitched above AA, or whether it's Alexander Alberto, who hasn't pitched above AA. Probably won't give them length, but Murphy can give them length. Vassell obviously can give them length through 100 innings last year. They talked about Taylor being multi-inning as well. Newcomb, who you mentioned, could pitch out of the rotation or the bullpen. They have coming back Drew Thorpe. They also have coming back Mason Adams. They should, at some point, see Noah Schultz and Hagen Smith. So this rotation is probably going to look different every single 2 weeks. We get paid every single 2 weeks here at CHGO. We're going to get a new rotation every 2 weeks, just like your paycheck. It should be fun. Who cares? CHGO Troll says the whole season's it's closed by committee. I don't know if it's closed by committee, because I do think that Taylor's your closer. I do think that they just use their closer less in a save situation. If you have to say the situation plays out how you normally would, right? Where you do have maybe 8-9-1 go up against flamethrower Alexander Alberto, and then 2-3-4 is Taylor in the 8th, and then 5-6-7 is Jordan Leisure. You want Taylor to be facing the meat and the heart of the lineup. I don't know. I forget Drew Thorpe exists as well. And maybe Drew Thorpe, in the year that he's missed pitching, has added a little bit of muscle. And maybe that fastball is ticked up to 92 there. Hey, maybe we see 95 from Drew Thorpe. I doubt it. We got to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. We're going to talk more about Grant Taylor. If you do have any thoughts, let us know in the chat. We'll also talk about Bradley Blalock being DFA'd by Colorado. Jared Kellenic has ditched his toe tap. There's so much to talk about here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. But first, a break. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 whole years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. They see problems, maybe not dead, hopefully not dead people. And that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. all of your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. There's no annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is included. So take it from me, a lock and change in 5 years. That's why your Wi-Fi should stay reliable, and at the price, it should stay put. So lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Legal, select plans only, restrictions apply. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Huel. The ready-to-drink meal is what I have in my hands. Our friends over at Huel are ready to power and protein up your life. This is for people that are looking to hit protein goals. This is not necessarily something I do on a necessarily day-to-day basis. However, in a pinch, in a jam, after I dropped a Brussels chicken Caesar salad completely all over the road, I didn't have a lunch, but I did have the chocolate peanut butter flavored Huel, and that was able to replace my lunch completely, and it was very delicious. I got 35 grams of protein, which was probably better than the chicken I even had there. So if you are looking to get a consistent protein routine into your workout routine, check out our friends over at Huel. They have the ready-to-drink drink here. They also have a powder as well. So it's the first thing that's made it easy for people in the office who do protein to make it consistent. Get Huel's high protein starter kit today with exclusive offer, 20% offline with our code WhiteSox20 at Huel.com/WhiteSox20. New customers only. It makes hitting your protein goals a lot less stressful. Welcome back to the CHGO White Sox podcast. We do have some commenters. Thank you guys for hanging out, whether it's Corey, Fat Hipster, CHGO Troll, Mike in the chat there says, Amy as well says, I don't think I miss Kyle Crick has ever been said before. No, you just haven't watched the show, Amy. Respectfully, I've said it before. I miss Kyle Crick. I missed him, ever since 2023. Where did his frisbee sweeper go? Him and Davy Garcia. I can make a list of long but not forgotten White Sox. Kyle Crick, man, that's a dreamer. That's a boyhood crush. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, what were we talking about? Mike Gianella. See, you talk about Kyle Crick, Brian Shaw. My memory gets hazy.
How does this work? Does it work like the Hall of Fame where it's going to take Joshua Palacios 5 years to enter into that realm and lexicon, or is he already there?
Palacios is a pretty strong contender.
That's a good one.
People, I think, who even watch the 2025 White Sox, if you weren't watching in May, you might not have seen Joshua Palacios as a White Sox. Joey, we might have to come up with a bit on the fly here. We got 2 minutes in the next break to come up with this. But Mike says, I'm not one who bets. Joey, I'm reading it. Oh, well, also, someone complained real quick that they can't read the white on the gray background. Can we change the color of the text? Because I kind of agree with them. On the bottom there. But anyways, Mike says, I'm not one who bets, but I wonder how many times the White Sox will need a closer this year. Mike, it's a fairly decent question. I think the White Sox in one-run games were 20. It's right here. They're 19-30 in 2023. In 2024, they were in one-run games 13-29, and then in 2025, they were 15-36.
How's this? Does this look better?
There you go. I think it was Amy or somebody brought up like white on gray didn't look too good, and I didn't know what she was talking about until right now.
We listen to the people. People have spoken.
And do you know how? Hey, Amy, since you're responding about Brian Shaw, do you know how Brian Shaw doesn't forget his name? Joey, do you know?
No.
Brian Shaw doesn't forget his name because it's tattooed vertically down his vertebrae. From the base of his neck all the way down to the bottom of his spine, pretty much where you see a tramp stamp. It says Shaw. It's on my Twitter. It's sick. Anyways.
That's a cognitive cheat.
Bring him back.
It's a cognitive test cheat.
What do you mean?
Like if you're ever in the hospital and they're like, do you know your name?
Oh.
He's cheating by
Can I look in the mirror?
Reading his body. That's how he's cheating to pass the test.
It looks like it's Wash. Can you Mike though asking how many times will they need a closer? What's 15 plus 36, math man? Around 51. Yeah. So 51-ish times maybe. I was looking at the actual times that they had saves as well. So you look at how many times they had saves. They had 7 from Leisure, 6 from Taylor, so that's 13. 4 from Vassell, that's 17, folks. Eisert had 2. That's 19. Wilson had 2. That's 21. Altavilla had 2. That's 23. That could be a long forgotten White Sox as well. I forgot him on the Name the White Sox 2025 roster. Tyler Gilbert had 1 and Cam Boozer had 1. So 25 saves there. I don't know how many specifically they blew. There should be a stat there that tracks
like a lot of them
blown leads, but I don't see any specific ones. But oh well. What was that?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, yeah, if you look at save opportunities versus saves, I'll probably get you there. I'm like kind of rattling in my head right now too. If it's like, what would you rather have as a Sox fan? Like, would you rather have them convert 40 of 50 saves at an 80% rate, or would you rather have them convert 50 of whatever, 75, which means that they're in closer games, but maybe they're blowing more late because they're a young team?
For the sake of this fandom, if we have a lead, I'd like to secure it. So I'll take the first option.
Yeah.
But the Monty Hall problem says I already made the wrong choice. That the first choice is the wrong choice. So I should pick door 2 via Monty Hall, but I'm gonna pick door number 1. I don't think we'll ever figure that out. But there is this one that's at the time of his last batter, the pitcher was in position for a loss, but the team came back to take a tie or lead. Ooh. Oh, okay. So we can't. Where's just blown save? Oh, there it is. Okay. So the White Sox had 24 blown saves. Steven Wilson had 7. Goodbye. Jordan Leisure had 5. Boozer had 3. Eisert had 3. Vassell had 2. Alexander 1. Freeman 1. Penn Murphy, who was the highest rated White Sox in MLB The Show 2025, 1 blown save, and Grant Taylor 1. So probably about 50 save opportunities. So can Grant Taylor become one of the 5 players in MLB history to finish with 50 saves? Your column.
Well, that's definitely towards the bottom of the league. When I was doing some stats and some other stuff, like the Texas Rangers were at like 24, 25 blown save opportunities. If you can, I'm not saying even cut it in half. If you can just shore up maybe 6 to 7 of those, you're in business.
Oh, Joey. Okay, all right, hold on. Now I need to find the 2023 blown saves because I just found the 2024 number, and it's a lot more than 24.
Oh, it's got to be. I'm going to tell you that. Over 35.
All right, so out of, the 2025 number, I think I told you it was 2024. Rank them. Who had the most blown saves? Who had the least blown saves? 2023 White Sox, 2024 White Sox, 2025. Just off the cuff.
Because this is Monty Hall, I'm going to go 2023 the most, 2024 the second most, and then 2025 the least.
Close. 2024, the Chicago White Sox that tied, or actually, I guess, had the worst record in Major League Baseball history, had 37 blown saves. Thank you for having that boat sound. Justin Anderson had 5. Kopech had 5. Tanner Banks had 4. Leisure had 4. Dominic Leone, remember him? He had 4. John Brebbia 3. Chad Cool had 3.
Very cool.
Jared Schuster had 2. Fraser Eller, Davey Garcia, Tim Hill, Brian Shaw, Michael Soroka, Gus Farland, and Steven Wilson all had 1. And in 2023, they had 29. Joe Kelly's smelly butt had 6. Ronaldo Lopez had 5. Kendall Graveman had 4. Gregory Santos had 4. Aaron Bummer had 3. Kenyon Middleton, Trader, had 2. And then Tanner Banks, Alexander Colomé, Garrett Crochet, again, he would pitch in opening day the next year, had 1. Jake Diekman.
Make that trade.
And Brian Shaw again had 1. So yeah, I mean, they have the opportunity to probably have about 50 to 60 save opportunities. You'll probably see Leisure have somewhere around 20. Or, sorry, not Leisure. Taylor have around 20. Leisure have around, 8 to 12. And then Mike Vassell probably will have like 4 for no reason. And then what random reliever? What player will have their Dan Altavilla moment and have like 2 saves for the White Sox? They're not currently on the team. I'll tell you that much.
Jose Quintana, come on down.
As a reliever?
I don't know. I'm just
no, it's gotta be way weirder.
We're talking Kyle Crick.
I think who signed Pomerantz?
The Angels.
I really wanted Pomerantz.
He will not be on the Angels come August 1, right? If he's healthy and he's upright, that he will be on another team.
Yeah, and I hope the White Sox trade for him for no reason. For the 80-win White Sox that will be contending in second place for the AL Central.
No one's saying the AL Central is going to be great this year.
Well, now with Kansas City moving in the fences, Kansas City might become the New York Bombers.
Did you do that on the show already? How do you feel about that?
I did a little bit about it yesterday. I ranked the watchability for the AL Central stadiums now. So based on watchability of the park alone, how watchable are these games? Minnesota, most watchable, because although they do have that higher wall in right center, it does seem fairly easy to pull it down the line. And even if you hit it high enough, it clangs around, and then will it be a double? Will it be a triple? Like, there's a decent amount of slugging to be allowed in Minnesota. There's not any crazy foul lines either. It's real tight down the left field and right field line. And then I put at second Kaufman with this. Now moving in, it was always fun to see if people could hit the fountains, but you're just going to have more home runs. I always thought that their foul lines were extremely ugly, and how the ball could kind of like roll around like a hockey rink if it hits around like that foul pole. So Kansas City was second. 3 is Chicago. I feel like Chicago's just it's very generic. It's very much
very straightforward
there. So it's hard to hate, and especially over the past couple of years, the wind's been blowing in and making it play down a little bit when it comes to slugging. So there's typically less home runs. I think from like 2023 to 2021, over that 3-year window, they were like a 104 homer plus, so 4% more than the MLB average, where over this past 3-year rolling window from 2023 to 2025, they're like 95. So you're seeing like a 10% difference, and the games have been a little less fun to watch. Maybe it's because the team sucks, but also just, I think part of it
should lower the bowl in the upper deck again.
Maybe.
or take out shave off more of the sides and the corners like they did 20 years ago.
But with its genericness, like there's less of an ability to like have a triple or a double. Not a lot of cycles at the cell. The Melky Cabrera one was real lucky that he even got that triple. Then 4 was
Cleveland.
No, 4 is Detroit.
Oh, okay.
Because Detroit, although it's
huge.
Like nasty to be 420, I just think that honestly the worst one is Cleveland. Comerica's a little nicer to look at, where I do think that Cleveland, not only because their team is horrid and putrid,
the wall in right center is insane,
awful, and like the platform out and right over the walls, they had to lower the actual behind the hitters to create like a wind tunnel, and it didn't do anything the next year because the team still sucks. I hate Cleveland. I hate watching games in Cleveland. There's no sun that the sun doesn't touch that place. How fitting that the eclipse was there when the White Sox and Cleveland Guardians play. I feel like there's an eclipse every time they play Cleveland because it's a nasty ass place.
It's just like they totally missed the memo of like, we're gonna put a big giant wall out there. Well, like maybe it'll be our own Green Monster. Well, the Green Monster is such a short porch that the peppering the wall is what kind of makes it fun and makes it interesting and different. It's a shorter porch, but it is a huge thing that you have to climb over. Where Cleveland's just like, yeah, we're going to put it in the right center well and just put it up as high as possible and make it also bad for fans to view the game. Why not?
It's ugly. Like you pan over to the Fenway thing, and it's like, wow, it's just like you could hit it and break a windshield, where you hit it to Progressive, and it's like I just hit it onto this mountain. This just disgusting gray blob of concrete. Let's take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. If you have any thoughts, let us know. Shout out to the fat hipster who says who will be the highest ranked White Sox on MLB 2026. I think Mark says it fairly easily. I think it's Colson. It's either Colson or Shane Smith. But I think to cash in on the shortstop, you can give him an A potential.
It would not be Murakami. You're writing
Colson.
off Murakami.
Ooh. All right, let's talk about it after the break. We want to let you know about our friends over at Ray CDJR. New vehicles are in store at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And this is your chance to score a great deal at the Ray Resolution sales event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. Missed you there. And right now, get 0% financing for 72 months plus no payments on spring on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and
Ram
models. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 with the friendly team of brand experts over at Ray CDJR. They'll be able to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. Plus, since they prioritize affordability, you won't overpay for a price because the price you see is the price you get with Ray's Price Promise. So go check out our partner today and shop Chicago area's largest inventory on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams. Don't miss out on the Ray Resolution sales event for huge savings on new models. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. And we want to let you know about our friends over at Old National Bank. I was able to see bank, like we're getting resonance on bank. I was able to see the beautiful Old National Bank advertisement today, letting me know that today was National Bagel Day. Whether it's on the field or in your financial life, the best teams win by delivering excellence at every level. At Old National Bank, they believe every play matters. From everyday checking to long-term planning and commercial banking, our team is here to build momentum and help you move the ball forward. So whether you're celebrating a win, did the Bears beat the Packers, Joey?
We sure did.
Oh, weird. Rebuilding after a tough loss. White Sox fans know about that. Or gearing up for whatever comes next. We've got you back with tools, guidance, and an expert crew that is always in your corner. Old National Banks, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. And also, welcome back to CHGO White Sox podcast. Sorry, I was writing down Forgotten Sox team, Joey. I got catcher Ramon Castro.
Oh, good.
First base, A.J. Reed.
Whoa.
Don't have a single position player after that. Got 5 starting pitcher spots. Have written down 3 relievers that we have already mentioned. Brian Shaw, Kyle Crick, Davey Garcia. So if anyone wants to
give
contribute
him the ball
to the Forgotten Sox list, let us know. I would like to keep them within the 2000s, but if you have a real weird one that you just remember, a guy that maybe played like a single game, like I want to put Rob Makoviak on this list. Should we put Rob Makoviak at DH?
Absolutely.
Or center
Pirates
field?
Finest.
Well, Oak Lawn's finest. That's a Spartan there, folks.
Kid comes home.
He's from Oak Lawn. We should book him on the show. I should figure out who in my life knows Rob Makoviak.
Charlie Tilson by Fat Hipster is a great one.
Ooh, so
we
let's see.
spent a lot of time going over wasn't he from Notre Dame? And we spent a lot of time being like, does he got speed? What can he bring?
And he was from it's kind of the Kellenic situation too. Maybe Kellenic's a little bit better of an athlete. We got Rob Makoviak playing center field. Ugh. Sure. All right. Rob Makoviak is our center fielder. And then Charlie Tilson. Yeah, Tilson. I think Tilson was a northwest suburb kid. So that was half the reason. Yeah, he was from Wilmette. New Trier.
Oh yeah, went to my high school.
New Trier second rounder. Yeah, very similar to I think the plight of a Jared Kellenic. He's an assistant coach at Northwestern.
Oh, good for him.
Apparently,
stayed home.
Yeah, got to get him. One of the nice hats from Brandon Bills. But yeah, Charlie Tilson played a little bit.
Amy Bartolini says real ones remember White Sox legend
Ryan Cordell. That's a good one. That is a good one. Ryan Cordell is an absolute legend. Played what? Yeah, 2019 was his big year. We're gonna have a Ryan Cordell this year.
Did he play?
Who's the Ryan Cordell of the White Sox in 2026?
Did he play more games than Courtney Hawkins?
I don't think Courtney Hawkins ever made the MLB.
No.
Did he? I don't think he ever made the MLB. No.
Wow.
Highest he got was AAA.
Well,
yeah, no, I mean, that's like a bust, respectfully. I mean, I could never even play in the minors before. But yeah, no, I mean, he was like a bust. I mean, Ryan Cordell played with the Mets after. So, I mean, there was still something in that old Sale Cat. Yeah, we'll put Ryan Cordell in right field. That's a real decent call there by Amy. So Ryan Cordell slots in there, and then we'll go Makoviak in center field. All right. I have other things to talk about. Bradley Blalock has been DFA'd by Colorado. Joey, should we take it to the Temp?
Let's
to the Temp with our friends over at Four Seasons. Call 866 4 Seasons for all the right reasons. Call our friends over at 866 4 Seasons. 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric are your Chicagoland experts. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their money-saving coupons. Bradley Blalock has been DFA'd by Colorado. I think that he's an interesting name that it wouldn't be shocking for the White Sox to pick up. He's a player with an option. He's a player that was somewhat highly thought of, at least for Colorado standards. Drafted in the 32nd round of the 2019 draft by the Red Sox, but has worked his way to becoming highly-ish thought of for the Rockies. Hasn't panned out at the major league level. Real ugly numbers, 89 in the third innings, 8.16 ERA. Obviously not good, but pal TJ Stats pointed out that this is a player that can obviously be affected by Coors. They're only 25 years old. When you do look at their home away splits, it is something that is nasty. You do look at the 39 innings pitched at Coors, it's a 10.85 ERA. Yes. And when you look at the away splits in 50 and a third innings, it's a 60.08 or 6.08 ERA. But I think that this is a player that has something to them. In spring training, their stuff plays up a little bit because there's less of an effect on the ball due to Coors. The air is thinner in Arizona, so Bradley's able to show off a little bit more. Joey, could you even make that screen a little bit bigger? I am blind as a bat. Bradley, you could see that his fastball's a little bit average there with the TJ Stuff Plus of 95. The slider, 105 TJ Stuff Plus. The splitter, 97. The curveball, 101 Stuff Plus. And the cutter, 105. You wonder, hey, Bradley, what if you started using the cutter a little bit more? It's very weird, too. Like, that slider, you could see, because of his arm angle, it drops off very steeply, where that cutter really goes side to side, where that slider is more like a vertical slider. I think that's why he's able to throw that curveball pretty decently. But that four-seamer, it's a very wide, expansive, vast place he's hitting. You could see his invertible break is 16.8 inches. If it's around 18, which it does seem like he can hit 18, even 20, you can see a couple pinks above 20 there. You wonder, like, consistency-wise, could he lock in? Could he even be a guy out of the bullpen that could be decent? There seems to be something that could be unlocked with Blalock. Lowering the arm angle could be helpful here because 62 is extremely steep. Joey, you can go back to the one shot on me if you want to. But 62 is extremely steep. There's also talk that a lower arm angle lowers arm injuries, so you do wonder if he could get healthier by also maybe helping his stuff play up a little bit. But I would wonder, how do you chase maybe honing in that fastball shape? Because if he can throw a splitter, he's got a cutter that plays well, he's got that slider, he's got a really nice curveball. How do you maybe adjust his fastball mix to make him a little bit better of a player? Also, to follow up on that, he doesn't have an option. So this isn't a player that, you typically can just, like, this isn't a player that you just pick up to be on the 26 opening day roster. This could be a player that can pitch for you in AAA. Brian Hudson was brought up. Like, he's currently on the 40-man roster. He's apparently the second highest rated White Sox right now. I know it'll be the show 25. 6'8" lefty from Milwaukee. Maybe they like him as a reliever, but Blalock, as we talked about earlier, the rotation doesn't give you a ton to love. Maybe Blalock gives you more length out of the back end. Remy Bunikowicz, my bad, Remy, on your pronunciation there. But he said that Blalock's DFA is interesting. It makes sense if you look past MLB results, as he didn't do well by any of the metrics, FIP, K%, minus walk percent, etc. However, you do have service time and great stuff. The stuff, I think, can play up outside of the rocky kind of, demise that's currently there. Also, Bradley was throwing about like 95 in spring training, and his stuff there was a little bit more around like that 18-inch vertical break that we were talking about. It's only 17 2/3 innings pitched, but I do wonder if he is able to find a little bit more consistency, if this is a player that could be unlocked. I do like Blalock for a possible pickup for the White Sox. JG throwing out Juan Pierre, Jacob May, Romy Gonzalez, and Gerard Dyson. I think Juan Pierre will be a little bit too much of like a known commodity. Jacob May, I could.
He strangely had a really decent season with us, even though it didn't really feel like it. But
Juan Pierre?
Yeah, but
Juan Pierre stole. Juan Pierre had like 61 stolen bases.
I know, and he got off to a really slow start that year too, and people were kind of bagging on him. And you look at the counting stats, and you're like, oh man, he definitely did stuff.
I don't know if Jacob May played enough. There's only 42 plate appearances. I know he's a 3rd-round pick, but I don't know. I'll count Romy. I think Romy Gonzalez could be a fun second baseman, especially because he played 3 years here. Where do you mostly play?
The question is, which one's the greatest one? Is Pablo Ozuna the greatest Forgotten Sox ever, or is he still like dug in the lore?
No, I think that he's still remembered. Chris Tannehill's favorite White Sox memory. No, that's Timo. Maybe
Timo
it is
Perez?
Pablo. Maybe it's Hawk Harrelson screaming, "Come on, Timo! Come on, Timo!" Pablo Ozuna, though, I mean, that was one of my first White Sox. I love Pablo Ozuna.
He went to the Craig Graybeck school of just coming off the bench and scoring runs and doing little else.
I think
Craig Graybeck growing up was that guy for me.
I think Pablo Ozuna with his 500 plate appearances, his 79 OPS plus is absolutely a forgotten White Sox. So I think we're going to throw in our guy Pablo Ozuna there. Where do you want him to play? Left field? Third base? Let's put Pablo at third base.
He's an athlete. He can do whatever.
He really can. We'll put Pablo Ozuna at third base. Any other
fat hips are coming in with Ross Glode.
Ross Glode, Palka is a nice one. I like Glode, probably.
Palka almost had too much run.
What was Glode's bit? Was he a part of the Rowan trade?
I mean, he was part of... Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but he was part of what I feel like was a guy that they liked as Konerko was starting to transition into a different part of his career.
He was acquired for Wade Parrish.
Sure.
And then he was traded for Andrew Cisco. Yeah, I feel like Ross Glode is easily a forgotten White Sox. So we'll throw Ross Glode on the board. He is. Where is Ross Glode playing with the White Sox? Left field? Right field?
I mean, he was first baseman, but yeah, stick him in the corner.
Let's put Ross Glode in left field.
Hide him in the corner.
Something I like, very similar to maybe the Garcias, where we had Avisel, Willie, and I can't think of the third one. Was it Leary? The Garcias out in the outfield. We have all guys starting with first name R. Ross Glode, Rob Makoviak, and Ryan Cordell.
Oh.
So the R's. Not as catchy as the Garcias.
Can't beat the Pirates, but
hey.
Yeah.
Jeff Leifler. Do you know, is that an old one?
It's Jeff Leefer.
Jeff Leefer.
Yeah.
My bad. I don't know. Is that one seems before my time? Who was he?
I think Jeff Leefer was also an outfielder.
2002, yeah, before my time. Wow. I mean, that's 636 plate appearances.
Yeah, we were sitting around asking ourselves questions about,
37 DH appearances, or 23 for the Sox. Let's put him in. Let's put him as our DH. Why not? Or does Edwin Encarnacion fit more?
Oh my God, dude, that fits more.
Because
he didn't even play, dude. I mean, he was awful in the 2020 season, and that was it. And then his career was over. He never played again
because of the steroid stuff.
And remember, we were like, "Oh, we got 38 home runs, injecting that into our lineup. Ho hum, let's rock and roll." No, I love J510 with Herbert Perry. I like that one a lot, but Herbert Perry was pretty solid. He was a solid player.
Yeah, the Milkman. He's a guy that was before my time, but I still know about Herbert.
As you should.
But he is forgotten in a way. He's not remembered like a Robin Ventura. Shouldn't be. He's not remembered like a Frank.
Well, no, but him and like Josh Fields were like the who's going to replace Robin Ventura for several years. And Creedy lived in that world for the first couple of years, where Creedy's career was not going great for a while.
Yeah.
And then he just was able to put it together for, what was it, maybe 2.5 seasons, which is funny because I think Joe Creedy's like an all-time White Sox player, but when you look at it, he really was only able to stay on the field and do what he needed to do for like 2.5 years.
We need a shortstop. We have Ramon Castro for our catcher, AJ Reed for our first baseman, second baseman Romy Gonzalez, third base Pablo Ozuna, left field Ross Glode, center field Rob Makoviak, right field Ryan Cordell, DH Edwin Encarnacion. Cal Eldridge's
a pretty good one, but if you're going to do that, I mean, Jamie Navarro is like on this list now. Bob Howery. Oh, white flag trade. Good one.
Yeah, but
That
I
hipster.
know who'd you bring up if it's
Jimmy Navarro.
I know Navarro though.
If you look up Jimmy Navarro just because it's fun. I mean, he accumulated like
No,
a
I know
-5 WAR in
Right.
like 3 seasons. It's like pretty like staggeringly. You're like, oh, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I kind of like Cal though because he gets injured. He plays pretty decently in 2000. Seemingly pitches 6 innings, gets injured,
Never
and then just
happens,
leaves. I kind of like that one.
Okay.
That is Forgotten White Sox, where Jamie Navarro, like Herb would bring him like mutter Jamie Navarro's name under his breath. Where like, yeah, I don't know if the scars of Cal Eldridge are felt. I think Eldridge is actually our ace right now. So there we go. We'll figure this out. Jeff Abbott, was that the guy with the one hand?
No, you're thinking of Jim Abbott.
Jim Abbott.
Also on the White Sox. Also had a pretty solid year with us. Should not be forgotten. Jeff Abbott came up around like the Carlos Lee, Aaron Rowan time, and he hit like 290 or something like that, and he was like scorching hot to end the year, and everyone was like, Jeff Abbott just knows how to hit. His bat-to-ball skills. And then the next year, he just totally just crapped out.
You know who Bob Howery is?
He's like a Mike Caruso. Yeah, Bob Howery was in the white flag trade.
You know who Bob Howery is? Mike Vassell.
Absolutely.
Inflated FIP, low ERA. This seems exactly like what people would talk about with Mike Vassell. A 4.25 FIP, a 3.81 ERA. I think we'll include Bob Howery in here. I think Bob Howery is a pretty decent one. Hey, I mean, I didn't include Jacob May, but I included Davey Garcia. I understand here that I'm a hypocrite. Does Jimmy Rollins count?
If he does, then every second baseman the last like 5 or 6 years then has to count.
See, but the
Like
Jimmy
Harrison
thing,
has to count.
Jimmy Rollins, the best thing ever. Hey Fish, yep, I've been doing the show since we launched. Jimmy though, will always be attached to the awful Phil Rogers of Forbes, who once tweeted, with Jimmy Rollins holding down the shortstop position in 2016, you really wonder where Tim Anderson will end up in his future as Tyler Saladino is making great waves. It's like, whoa, we already think Jimmy Rollins, 39-year-old, holding down this position, that Tim Anderson is going to be outplayed by both old man Jimmy Rollins and Tyler Saladino. Yokohama Bay star, I think, legend, Tyler Saladino.
Phil Rogers' blind spot growing up was always saying, like, what's going to happen when, like, Josh Vitters comes? Like, how are they going to make room for Josh Fields? Like, he just automatically deserves to get 500 bats because he's automatically going to be awesome. Not all these prospects worked out. That's where a lot of this exercise is coming from. But Tyler Saladino, that's a great one.
Jose Valentin was too well known.
No, way too well known.
All right. Quick notes. Okay, hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Hey, and maybe we've been around for 3 years, almost 4 years, and you don't know about us. Maybe you just learned about us like Fish Jones. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay, it's that easy, folks. We're here 3 days a week for you, and especially when the season gets closer and closer, we'll have more and more White Sox stuff for you. Both of these notes are coming from Sox Machine. Go support James, Jim, and Josh over at Sox Machine. I am a $5 member over at Sox Machine. James did a fantastic write-up about Jared Kellenic ditching the toe tap. So if you do want to become a Jared Kellenic truther, look at the toe tap. Kelnic's been somebody that has always tweaked with his batting stance. There is a good picture on Twitter where I think he literally has 24 different batting stances. And as James writes up here, as you can look at all the clips that they show in the article, Kellenic would point out the commonality that he's using a leg kick in all those instances, as he's employed one for the entirety of his career. But by the end of 2025, he felt it was throwing him off balance. His weight was shifted too far back, giving him a longer path to the hitting zone and making it difficult for him to adjust to off speed. Kellenic said, I have a tendency to get stuck back, and my posture. Wait, I don't know how to read. I have a tendency to get stuck back in my posture. I could be a little bit more lean back. Anyone that knows the swing, when your posture is back, your barrel, it takes a while for you to get into the zone. I don't know how to read. Why did I pick this? It actually goes in and out of the zone pretty fast, so it doesn't work. It can be tough dealing with change out of speed when they're adding and subtracting on you. One thing I wanted to work on was making sure my spine angle was more linear and wasn't leaned back. My weight distribution was more centered. Just being an athlete in the box was the biggest thing. And so hearing them talk about that, specifically Ryan Fuller, that's who he means by them, hearing them acknowledge the type of player I was reassuring to hear. Just the clear crystal plan that they had, that they have thought of what I wanted to do and attack it. It was really motivating for me. So it does seem like this is a nice marriage here between the White Sox and Kellenic. There does seem to be, again, a ton of potential for yourself to get high on over the next month. If you do want to talk yourself into Kellenic, he hits the ball hard. Maybe this is just the batting stance change for him. I'm for it. I'm not against it. And then also talking about changes, Alexander Alberto talked about some changes that he did. And just real quick, Alexander Alberto said via his interpreter, I was able to make some adjustments on my progress in 2025. I shortened my arm action. I lowered my leg kick. I was able to repeat consistently my delivery, and that also helped me improve my velocity and being able to throw more strikes. If he is able to throw strikes at a major league level, this dude seems to be a complete game changer with his 99-mile-per-hour cutter. I really do hope we see both Paez and Alberto make it to the opening day roster. Our guy Gene, who joined the show day of Rule 5 draft, talked about how they want to see this not just through April, but all the way to August. Hopefully, we do see those projects pan out. Haven't heard much on Paez, but oh well. I don't think you need me to talk about the 18 total signings for the Sox international signings. It doesn't seem like the White Sox will be able to make their true mark on the international class for a bit here because there is so much already priorly agreed to. The White Sox made a huge splash in the 2030 class with their guy Braxton Berrios. That's not his real name. Remember, it's like Braston. Whatever. He's a 16-year-old in the Dominican. So like, I'm not trying to learn his name. I will learn it at some point. But he's very far out. He's not even a part of this. This is the 2026 international signings. He's 4 classes away from being announced. But the 2 headliners, Fernando Graterol, the 31st prospect, according to Pipeline. He's 6'1", 175 pounds. He's got broad shoulders, some pop. He's a catcher. He's nowhere near Major League Baseball, so if you're wondering what this means for Corey Lee, nothing. And then there's also Sebastian Romero, an outfielder, 6'2", 175. Both got $1.5 million bonuses, and again, they had 18 total signings. We'll see what it turns out to be. They're so far out. They're so green. They're so raw. It's very tough to kind of nail that in. Ryan asked, can the Sox fix his batting stance, seeing as other teams couldn't? I don't know if he seems to be a thinker and a tinkerer to where I think if he finds success with something, it might, like, it's kind of seeing the ball go through the hoop. Like, I don't think Kellenic has seen the ball go through the hoop consistently. So he could just suck. I mean, that could be the other thing. He could just be a terrible baseball player. And maybe it's not the stance, but I think that he's very thoughtful in the fact that he can at least try to think of the ways to shorten up his swing and, again, make just more contact. That is I think what the White Sox are saying. You know, maybe take less big hacks because you're already a great athlete. If you swing the bat fast and you have just a quick, short plane, you should be able to make some decent amount of damage. So I think that's what the White Sox are saying specifically, that maybe it's not even a batting stance, but also just more of an approach of we want to be quick to the ball, and that's going to create bat speed. That's going to create a shorter bat path, and that's going to be able to allow you to make more impactful contact. We'll have to see. Royce Clayton, also a very good one, was in Moneyball. You probably know that as an actor. Yeah. I think Royce Clayton's actually better than Jimmy Rollins. We're going to go with Royce Clayton. We'll figure this out next week. We'll come back on Monday. I'll hash out the Forgotten Sox lineup of the 2000s. Ramon Castro, A.J. Reed, Romy Gonzalez, Royce Clayton, Pablo Ozuna, Ross Gloyd, Robin McCoviac, Ryan Cordell. The bullpen, we got Brian Shaw, Kyle Crick, Davey Garcia, Bob Howery. We got Kel Eldridge as our ace, and Edwin Encarnacion, the parrot-loving man, as our DH. We're going to take a break for the whole day, and then for the week, and then we'll be back next week. We're going to be done for the week. We're 2 shows this week. Hope that's okay. Not a ton of White Sox news. If there's any breaking stuff, we'll be on it. Joey, thank you very much for producing. I'm Sean Anderson. Thank you to all of you for hanging out. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We will talk to you next week. Good. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.